Hello, hello. Hello, my challenge friends. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late because just as I was about to go live, my doggy wanted to go outside. I guess nature calls, and when nature calls, you gotta answer it. So that's why I'm a few minutes late. Hey Miriam, how's it going? Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Claire. Oh, lovely to see you guys. How are we doing? Day 3. Hey, Ellie. So I was just saying, sorry, guys, if you just joined. I'm a few minutes late because Doggy needed to go outside and answer his nature's call. So here we are. It's funny because as he was, doing his business, because I don't know if you have dogs or, been around dogs, but especially with Harvey, he's like, I can tell when he's priming himself to do his business, and he's always like smelling and looking for a particular spot. So, and I was like, thinking to myself, come on, hurry up. I need to go live. But then just kind of like remembering like, it's okay, nothing, the world's not going to implode if I'm a few minutes late. And that I'm not a bad person because I'm late for this challenge, just kind of calming myself down. Yeah, okay, so you guys, let me know, how has it been for you guys? Day 3, whoa! It's pretty much halfway through. So how has it been? Have you been trying the meditation, and have you been, trying to be more mindful throughout your day? Let me know how it's been going for you so far. And I've been, reading some of the comments from other people who've been watching the replay. And it's been so interesting to see like how, a lot of us struggle with very similar things, and that, yes, the practice is simple, but it really does take time and effort. And I love seeing how everyone is putting in that effort to try and, experience the benefits and the changes. So, kudos. And Mira, you forgot this morning, but did a meditation at morning tea. It's awesome, perfect. And this is what happens, because before it becomes second nature, you're going to be needing the extra effort. Think about this, right? You are probably in your 20s, 30s, 40s in my case, and that's, you brush your teeth probably twice a day. Hi, Lisa. Why do you brush your teeth twice a day? No one is asking you to do it anymore. No one's reminding you to do it anymore, but you do it. That's like the most automatic thing. So look, meditation is going to be similar. It's going to be something that we're going to have to make it into a habit. So Claire said, so far so good, been doing meditation yesterday and today, this morning, didn't spend much time on my phone. Yay! Except for when you're watching this, obviously. Love it. Like less than before is a great progress, right? We are not aiming for perfection because it is unattainable. So remember this, guys. Like, I also want to take this opportunity to celebrate each and every one of you that's been trying. And I think that's a thing that we maybe as adults have not forgotten how to celebrate ourselves. We just keep go, strive, and we don't just celebrate ourselves, even for the smallest things. So I want to take this opportunity to celebrate you, and I want you to celebrate yourself right now. Acknowledge yourself that you've taken steps, you've made an effort, you put in time to do this, for yourself, for your, because it's not for anyone else, it's for you. And so I want you to pat yourself on the back and acknowledge that. Ellie, you didn't meditate this morning, was in a rush. Yeah, no, that's all good, but been more mindful. Yes. ate lunch looking at the view. Oh, awesome. Without any distractions. Whoa, yay. Awesome. Celebrating you, girl. Nice, 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 nice. So, okay, guys, as usual, let's take this opportunity to drop into our body, into this moment. Maybe you've come from doing something to join me here, and maybe you've just eaten lunch, whatever it is, just dropping in for a few moments here. And that looks like tapping into your breath, listening to the surroundings. So checking in with yourself right now. How am I feeling? Once again, what is this one word that pops up for you? What is the first thing that comes to you when you ask yourself, how am I feeling today? And whenever you're ready, just coming back into the space with me. And feel free to type into the chat to let me know what is that one word that's coming up for you. How are you feeling right now? So remember, we are working that awareness muscle. You know, every time we check in and we look inwards, right? So checking in means going inside. So not going without, right? We're going within. We're coming in to just feel and sense and just noticing. Lisa, you're feeling good? Awesome. That's great. What about everyone else? What's that one word perhaps that's coming up for you? How are you feeling? Relax. Nice, nice, nice. And I wonder if you can notice the difference in your breath when you're relaxed and when you're feeling agitated or a little bit unsettled in Ellie's case. Yeah. And remember, right, there's no judgment here. Like just noticing is very powerful. So when we can notice and acknowledge, it really starts to soften the experience. So a little fun fact, like when we are in rest and digest mode, meaning when we are feeling calm, feeling ease, our breath is really, really slow, really, really slow. So whenever we are in that mode, your breath per minute is about six breaths per minute. Yeah. 6 is quite little, but that's apparently, the average of like how many breaths you should be taking in a minute. So if you feel like your breath is really, really shallow and fast, that is a real indication that you're not in that rest and digest. Miriam, you're also trying to think of the right word, unsettled, busy. Yep, okay, no, fair enough. Okay, so you know what? Let's all practice the mindfulness meditation that I taught you guys yesterday. Let's do it all together just for a couple of minutes and see if we can, use this on tool to find a bit more space and calm. Yeah? Shall we try that? I think we should. Let's take this opportunity. So when you're ready, sitting comfortably, right? Finding your seat, closing your eyes when you're ready. We'll just take 2 minutes. So remember using all the senses, sound, taste, smells, touch, temperature, all of that good stuff. Remember to allow any thoughts to come and go. Keep moving your attention from one thing to the other. And slowly beginning to come back into the space, opening up your eyes when you're ready. Perhaps taking a deep breath in through the nose and exhaling out through the nose. Every inhalation is an opportunity to nourish our blood, our body with fresh oxygen. And every exhalation is an opportunity to purge and let go of whatever that does not serve us anymore. Let's see, guys, how did that go? Just a couple of minutes of practice there together. How was that for you? Could you feel yourself just settling down a little bit more, feeling a little bit more in your body? Nice, less distracted, beautiful, awesome. And remember that this is something that you can try and do in between tasks or meetings, is to just really come back and connect with yourself. Yeah, amazing. Oh, Claire, you could connect with your baby. Oh, beautiful. That's so wonderful. Wow, wow, wow. Yes, definitely help, Ellie. Good, awesome, cool. Remember, guys, I think obviously sometimes when we are not feeling great, we tend to avoid, doing these practices, which we know is going to help us. So sometimes it does take a little bit of that motivation and discipline, but otherwise, good job, you guys. Good job. You're done. We're in day 3. Congratulations. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, today we're going to jump straight into acceptance. Yeah. And I've shared this before. Acceptance, though, the practice of acceptance has been a game changer for me. It has made a huge lot of difference to my own personal life and the way I deal with challenges and when I'm in difficult times. So you guys, perhaps I've already said this before, like our minds are always in the past or in the future. So in the past could look like something that's already happened, or maybe someone that you might be having issues with, or someone has done something to you, and that is the kind of the part where our mind's always thinking about what has already happened. And the thing is, what has already happened cannot be changed. We can't undo what has already happened. So, knowing that, realizing that spending a lot of time in the past is not helpful. And also spending a lot of time in the future is also not helpful, because we cannot control many things. We cannot control the future. We cannot predict what is going to happen, right? So that is why it's so important for us to practice being in the present, because being in the present is the only thing that we have control over, right? How we feel, how we respond, and how we choose in this moment. So that's why being in the present moment is so important. And so in terms of when we are thinking back to the past, like whether we've done something, we did something, obviously like maybe a mistake, or something that didn't go well, or someone did something to us, I'm sure there's heaps of examples, right, that we often go back and think about, if only I can change that, or we don't forgive ourselves, or let the past go. So the practice of acceptance is really helpful, because as the word suggests, it is really about accepting what has already passed. It doesn't mean that we condone or like what has happened, but in order to move on, we have to accept it. We have to allow for it to happen. Similarly, with when we are worrying about being in the future, so whether that looks like in my case, I I've been dealing with quite a bit of stress. Maybe you've heard me say that about my new house, being able to move in on time because I have to leave this house. The good news is it is on time, but there's been weeks where we don't know if that was going to happen. And so that was me really like practicing acceptance, going like, it is what it is. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I've done all that I can to make sure that, we're in a good place to be able to move on time. But really, it's, something that's really out of my control. So practicing that acceptance has been super helpful. And so then it stops me from being in that worry state all the time. I'm not saying that I didn't worry, because I'm human, so it's going to be almost impossible to not worry. I would like to get to that stage at some point, but otherwise, what's been really helpful is noticing when I'm in that future a lot, like worrying about the future. And also the other thing that is happening is we're trying to get ourselves to Rarotonga for a holiday. And again, because of our unvaccinated status, it's a bit tricky to get there. Again, can't control it. We booked the flights and everything. Let's see what happens, and just being in the present as much as possible. So perhaps there's something in your life right now that you're dealing with that you keep thinking about what is going to happen in the future. And when you catch yourself doing that, and I think that is part of the trick too, is catching yourself doing that. And that's why we practice being aware. Practice our awareness muscle so that you can catch yourself in that forward future mode when you should be in that present mode, right? So catch yourself and decide that in that moment, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to continue to ruminate, right? And ruminate is the word for excessive worrying. And, like your mind is just keep going and going. And that's also another word for overthinking. You are overthinking every scenario, like what's going to happen if this doesn't happen, or whatever happens if this happens, like just all of that, like non-stop out of spiral. And I think a lot of us can probably relate to that, because it's like, you just feel like, oh my God, can someone just shut this up? Can someone just turn this off? It's super draining, super tiring. And the reality is, no one can do anything. Nothing can really change what is going to happen, because we don't know what is going to happen. Even the president of the United States, not even Jacinta, can predict the future. Nobody can. And the sooner we can really acknowledge and believe and know that no one can predict the future, then we start to recognize that it's kind of like a wasted energy when we spend a lot of time in that. Can anyone relate to what I'm saying? Sorry, I feel like I've just been rambling on. Let me know if you're someone who ruminates. Let me know if you're someone who notice that you spend a lot of time, either in the past or in the future. And if anything that I'm saying is actually resonating. And of course, I'm going to be giving you some solutions around this. But just wanted to say, Claire, yes, overthink. That's my thing. Yeah, cool. So the thing about overthinking is the trick here is to really catch yourself doing it. Yeah, catch yourself doing it. And the thing is this, right? The more you catch yourself doing it and choosing differently, what we're doing is we are changing the neural pathways, right? We're rewiring the way we operate. Yeah, we're changing the way we operate in our head. And so it's going to be less and less and less. Yeah, holding on to the past is... it's, again, it's something that we all do, right? I mean, some are easier than others. So again, this is something to be aware of. Like if you catch yourself being in the past, like, maybe you go over, if in your mind's eye, you can visualize what had happened and like maybe the people that's involved in it, like all of that, maybe you're replaying the events. And so noticing when you're in that mode and being able to catch yourself and, kind of like snap yourself out of it, in fact. But you know what? Sometimes it's okay to let yourself kind of, especially happy memories, right? No one complains about thinking about happy memories. Because it's pleasant, right? So why not allow yourself to think of happy memories? It's when it is not nice, right? When it is unpleasant, when it's painful, when it's difficult, that's when we struggle. Yeah, would you say so? Again, I want you to start to also notice the sensations in your body when you are thinking about the negative situation or events or the person. And the tendency is for us to run away from those very uncomfortable feelings. And although it may seem counterintuitive, but what needs to happen is we need to be with those uncomfortable feelings. Because the more you run away from it, the more you push it away, the more you suppress, it's just going to keep coming back. We need to we need to process all of these emotions. And just a disclaimer here, if it's a trauma or something really traumatic and horrific that's happened to you, I would suggest maybe going to someone, a professional, to help you process it if it's too hard or too much for you to be with. So this is a disclaimer. And obviously, if you'd like me to chat to you more about any of this, feel free to reach out separately and we can go a little bit deeper into that. So, what should we do when it comes to acceptance? There's a really simple acronym, a simple practice that I'm going to share with you guys today. It's called R.A.I.N, as in the rain, rainfall. I'm not going to sing. Don't have a singing voice. So R.A.I.N, R-A-I-N. So R.A.I.N is a well-known mindfulness practice around accepting our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings and sensations in our body during difficult times. So starting with R stands for recognize. So recognize what is happening. So in a similar way, when I ask you to drop in, right? Drop in to feel what is going on, to notice what is going on. In a similar way, that's what we're doing here. Whether we close our eyes, coming into stillness and just noticing what is happening. You want to stay open and non-judgmental, right? So non-judgmental means, why do you feel this way? Like, this is useless. Don't do that, right? Those very judgmental, critical talk to yourself. We don't want any of that. We just want to stay really open and neutral and non-judgmental. And, so for example, again, like I said, when I ask you to drop in, like, how are you feeling? This is also what you can do for yourself, is say to yourself, I am feeling blank. So whether that's I'm feeling irritated, I'm feeling unsettled, I'm feeling tired, busy, like whatever it is recognizing what you're feeling right now, what is happening to you in this very moment. Then A, right? So we've covered R, and A is, allow. Allowing, it means that we're letting life be just as it is. We're letting the situation be just as it is. We accept and we acknowledge that something has happened and that has, this is the situation. So for example, for me, road rage is something that winds me up quite a lot, that causes quite a strong reaction in me. So I always use this as an example. If someone cuts me up in traffic, I use the R.A.I.N to try and walk myself through this process because I get really angry. So R, obviously recognizing what has happened. Okay, someone has drove really dangerously around me, that and A is to allow myself to be, okay, this has happened. Okay, so this has already happened. Someone was driving recklessly. And also not trying to, blame, also recognizing that I am feeling angry because someone has driven like recklessly, dangerously. So this is kind of how I walk myself through it. And then investigate, which is I. I stands for investigate into your inner experience, right? So why do I feel this way? Was it something I did? Was it something they did? Or, basically is maybe asking why. Sometimes we can skip the why part. We may not need to really know why. Yeah. And maybe sometimes we just don't know why. And that's okay. And so for me, my road rage, the why am I feeling this angry? It's because I feel unsafe, right? I feel like someone has threatened my safety. And so that's why I feel angry, right? So remember that we have very basic needs for survival. And whenever those needs are challenged or threatened, we respond, like we react, which is obviously very normal because remember that your brain is here to protect you, which is the survival mechanism, right? So whenever we react, it's because generally, our basic safety or happiness has been threatened. So investigate, that's I, and also maybe ask yourself, like, is there something I can give myself? How can I support and nurture myself in this instance? So maybe in my road rage, what can I do? Okay, not a lot, continue to drive safely, right? Maybe I can breathe a little bit deeper to calm myself down. So I can take deeper breaths to calm myself down. Also, because I know that all my, emotions are not meant to stay. Emotions come and go. Research have shown that emotions last about 90 seconds on average. So if we let it go, like allow it, right? Then it is going to go after a little while. So, and carry on my day because I don't want to feel angry all, throughout the drive. I don't want to feel angry all the way to my appointment. I don't want to feel angry, when I meet someone else for coffee or my appointment. So this is why I'm allowing it to go and let my emotions go as well. Last one is N, which is non-identification. I also like to think of it as N for nurturing. So like I said before, what can I give myself to support myself in this situation, right? Nurturing, obviously, like whether that looks like breathing deeply, like, or if someone has said something to you that rubbed you up the wrong way, does it look like giving yourself some space, going into nature and find stillness? Would it be to make yourself a hot drink and just give yourself space to be with those feelings, with those emotions? Non-identification also means that you are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Okay, guys, like this, when I learned this, oh my God, it was revolutionary. It's funny because I don't know why it took me so long to learn this, but it was like, well in my 30s when I actually realized that I do not have to be my thoughts. I am not my thoughts. Even though I think them, even though my mind produces the thoughts, it does not mean that I have to believe it. Doesn't mean that I have to act on it. Doesn't mean that I have to do anything with it. Yeah. And so not identifying, meaning, so when in the case of in the example of the road rage, when I'm feeling angry and perhaps I was not very nice in what I was thinking about the other driver, like maybe I was cussing at him or her, or maybe I had really unkind thoughts about that person that was making me angry. It does not mean that I have to act on it. It does not mean that I have to believe that that's what I need to do, right? So being able to detach yourself from those negative thoughts can be really helpful. It's like, okay, yep, I've thought of it. Those thoughts have popped in, but it doesn't mean that I have to believe it, right? Like, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. Like, I'm not gonna let it, affect me. And I think what's the key here is when we allow ourselves to feel the emotion. Like in my road rage is anger, right? And when I allow myself to feel it and really like noticing, it's like heat, all over my chest, rising from my belly up towards my chest. And it's like, whoa, okay, it is there, it is present in my body, but it's okay. I don't have to do anything with it, and being able to let go of it. So, okay, guys. Me and my rambling on, so funny. Could really talk for ages. Let me know if any of this is resonating. R.A.I.N, R.A.I.N. And if you have any questions at all. Do you think that's something that you can easily remember to use to practice? And I find that sometimes, the steps may not be in that order. Because sometimes I feel like once I recognize what's happening, I might go straight to investigate, like just to notice, like, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? And then I allow it to be, so I feel like it really takes some, experimenting and trying it out on your own to really practice this. Yeah. Just allowing you guys some time. Yeah. Recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. Yes. Love the self-compassion in this. Yes. And compassion and kindness is the what we're going to cover on the last day. But really, yes, this is a glimpse of like that self-compassion, self-kindness in all of our practice. And R.A.I.N is really, to help ourselves. And, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, about other people, but it's really important that we learn how to cope with ourselves, how to support ourselves first before we can, we can look at filling other people's cup. So that's why I think it's super important to work on our to do the inner work first. Yeah. Hey, you guys. What else? Any questions at all? Acceptance. It's such a simple concept, but like I find like you can apply this in probably any situation in life. If you didn't get the job that you wanted, you didn't go on the trip that you planned, you didn't, didn't get what you had hoped for, and through working with so many of my clients, like whether that is like getting their, visa in time, so that they can stay, and like all these uncertainties, there's a lot of uncertainties that we have to deal with in life. And, but the thing is, the sooner we can accept that whatever it is has happened, and we can accept that we can also control what is going to happen in the future, and that we can be more in control about how we feel, so that we're not overthinking and driving ourselves up the wall. Yeah. Yay! At least I can definitely relate the R.I.A.N better though. Yep, cool. Yes. Interesting. I think that's the thing. There's no one size fits all. I really encourage everyone to experiment, encourage everyone to try it out for yourself and see how it goes. Yeah. Cool. Like, once again, you guys, if you're watching this on the replay, let me know how it goes for you. Let me know how the previous day's been going, what's coming up for you. And remember to share the journey on social media, tag me to win the prize. Yeah, Claire, visas in to be able to go home has been the hardest. Yes, yeah. And often we have a choice, right? It's that maybe the choice is not our first choice, but think about it, we all have a choice. So that's something to be aware of as well. So for example, I know that I can now go back home to Singapore to visit, because obviously some of the rules have been lifted, except for the 7-day self-home quarantine that I have to do when I'm back over in Singapore, which I'm not quite keen to do for different reasons. Gonna talk about that in a different conversation. But you know, so it's not my first choice because I'd rather not do the 7 days. But I have a choice. I can still do it. I can still go and I can still do it. So you know, like this is the kind of examples that I'm talking about. Like sometimes we have other choices, but it's not our first choice, but we still have a choice. So at the end of the day, you choose what is the best for you and accept and allow things to be as it is. Yeah. Okay, guys, I think I've taken enough of your time as usual. Thank you so much for being here with me. I love reading all your updates and your progress. Please keep practicing, and thank you and congratulations, J3. Keep going. Yes, hang in there. Well done, you guys. See you later. Bye now.